gentlemen, if you're here for exactly the same reason for which I am, DJ Jake, let's roll this party on. About to celebrate a good party for Samuel and a revoir. Come on. Show some moves, that's right. Ha ha. You know you got the power, girl, to keep me holding on. So now you got the best of me. Come on and take the rest of me, oh baby. It's a vintage dance party. Zoom zoom zoom, zoom 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 zoom. Party T T T T T T T T T I zoom 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 zoom. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water.
Now you're wondering what all the excitement is about. Well, he's here with us. The man in the center of the events, hyping it up and making everybody excited. Kabutey Ocansey, the MC.
My MC.
Wow. Sake of this MC thing we do, no, and they go marry again.
Oh, we're ready for you.
So
we're ready for you.
So,
yeah, just make sure it's the same one. That's all.
Once it's the same one.
Relax. We will do it.
It will be an honor. It will be an honor.
You know, I've always wondered, and Kabutey, we'll take it back a little bit, but sure. I've always wondered, when you do what you do, because you sing songs with them, you dance moves with them. I mean, it's like you're on the beat. Did you have to learn stuff? How much learning and growing have you had to do?
So, first of all, it's an absolute honor to be here. You know,
honor to have you.
Yeah. I'm sure my mom is screaming in heaven.
Yeah,
the son has arrived. So thanks for having me. So it's amazing. It's amazing. I when I look back at my life, I literally feel like somebody scripted it for me, and it took time for me to figure it out. Because the great thing about, you know, all these elements was that when I was through school, right from primary JSS, I was the guy who was always involved in extracurricular activities. Okay. So I did poetry at some point, I did traditional drumming and dancing at some point. Okay. I was in the debating club. When I went to SS, I joined the school choir, I played hockey, I got into university, and then I was drawn into theater, you know. So I've loved all things creativity. Yeah. You know, I've loved music, dance, theater.
And performance.
And performance, you know, and church. You know, when you're growing up as a child and, you know, Children's Day, Harvest, and all those kinds of things. So I didn't realize that there was a plan or a purpose to it. But today when I look back, I know for sure it is those years and those experiences that have made me more naturally adapted to what I do. Yeah. You know, and so it really comes truly naturally for me, you know. And the other aspect is I truly genuinely, you know, immerse myself into my events. I always tell people I don't show up at an event to work on the event. I show up to be a part of the event. So I'm feeling the same excitement as though that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my son, my daughter, you know, getting married, or if it's a corporate event, you know, that I'm part of the company. And so I'm truly, genuinely excited. I'm not trying to be excited. I'm not pretending to be excited. I'm truly excited, you know. So when you're in that environment of music, of dance, and you are truly invested in it, the natural emotions will just pour out. And I think that's what it is that people see, yes.
So I'm wondering, how did you end up on this path? Because the first time I encountered you many years ago, you were on a stage, you were on a stage with Uncle White, you know, and all of a sudden, this MC is taking Ghana by storm. I'm like, wait a minute, I know him.
You know him, right?
You know, so how did we start this journey? Last year, you celebrated 10 years.
That's right.
In this MCing thing.
That's right.
1,000 events.
Yes.
Massive feat. And now I'm sure you are getting to 2,000. That was last year. You know, but how did you end up on this path? Of course, you mentioned all the things that have sort of built you up for it. But how did you start it?
So it is amazing. I mean, there was never a point throughout my development, either academically or even, you know, along career path, that anything like this remotely even crossed my mind or within the scope of our discussions. What happened was that I had come out of school, university, I'd finished my master's degree. I started working, and I'm a biochemist. That's my first degree. It's biochemistry. My master's is in food science and technology. Are you a biochemist? Oh, for real. Hey, we are rare. We are rare, So I was working with a consulting firm, and I literally was invited, the family was invited to an event. So we attended, it was a wedding in this case. 2 successive Saturdays, different couples, different venues, different settings, but they were all very beautiful events. Unfortunately, on both occasions, the MCs were very terrible.
Oh dear.
And at the time, there was nothing like, professional event MCs. So you look for your cousin, your uncle, some friend, and we all have scars to show for people who have messed up events, not by any fault of theirs. And so in both of these situations, beautiful environment, but the MCs were not the best. And when the MC is bad, I say even the best food can taste bad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even the best decor can lose its glow just because the MC is so bad. And I could feel the couple literally cringing at their seats. And I was feeling bad for them because I felt like, look, on your wedding day, you deserve to have a day of a lifetime, And so when I feel that towards the couple, then I look at the guy on the mic, and then somehow in my mind, I'm like, if this guy is the standard,
I can do
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
It's not too
I
difficult.
could not do it, So it happened 2 Saturdays. So after the second experience, I went to work from Monday to Friday, and it literally would not leave me. The thought was literally haunting me every day. So Facebook was relatively new at the time. This was 2011, January. So I got to work around 7:30, went on Facebook, created a page, Kabutey my MC. And nothing. There was no picture, no video, no description. It was just the title of the page. And then I added professional event MC. And I closed it and I went to work. Around 1 o'clock.
Where were you working at the time?
I was working with a consulting firm at the time, yes, Mel Consulting Limited in Northridge. And around 1 o'clock, after I came back from lunch, just out of curiosity, I checked on Facebook, and to my shock, I had received my very first enquiry. Now, that very first enquiry, 3 months later, 30th April 2011, became my very first official event. Yes, for a lady called Myra and a gentleman called Fred. And yes, I would never forget that experience. Yes, so that's how it started. Went for that event. There were about 300-400 people there. And I think just as the event started, people just felt a different kind of energy in terms of the flow, in terms of how exciting it was. I remember Myra's dad was a military colonel, so, and everybody wants to keep themselves, yes. But people were really having a good time. So whilst the event was going on, people went to her to ask her, where did you find this guy from? Like, you see, are you related to him? It's like, no, I saw him on Facebook. Yeah. So they came to me for a number. I didn't have a card, so I remember the tissue that they used to serve. So I took a tissue, folded, and then I wrote my number and gave it out. Believe it or not, guys, that first day, I was booked for 6 other events that first day. Wow. And here we are 11 years
That's amazing.
after. Yeah, that's
and
true.
just taking a leap of faith.
Yeah, really.
Just taking a leap of faith.
And if really just just responding genuinely to what I felt was I didn't even feel it was a need. I just felt people deserved better. And I honestly didn't think I was prepared or so qualified. I just thought that for that person I saw, I could do a little bit better than them, But the good thing is between that end of January and end of April period of, being booked and waiting for the event, I went through quite a bit of preparation for myself because I was excited, but trust me, I was also absolutely anxious. I was quite scared because this was a real, event. You are sitting there saying some guys, now you're going to be in your hands. Yeah, so... But it turned out well.
We have something interesting sitting on the table here, and so for us here, we know what we have here.
Okay.
How did you go from MCing to this?
Yeah.
Listen, guys. I mean, I don't wear my faith on my sleeves that easily or anything like that, but sometimes you just can't help but just be in awe of how life, God, call it whatever you want to, like just puts things together.
Yeah.
I told you my first degree is in biochemistry.
Yes.
But then I worked in consulting for about 6 years.
Yeah.
And thereafter, I switched into the arts. So I started MCing. That same year, I auditioned and joined Roverman Productions. And it was beautiful because as Roverman was, growing for me, it cast a very positive shadow on my events, MCing as well.
Okay.
Because, Roverman has a lot of high-profile people coming through. And when they see you on Uncle Ebo White stage and they know you host events, they kind of feel like, oh, you'll be good, So it helped in that respect as well. But for the last, 12, 13 years, I have not practiced biochemistry. I have not connected to my food science and technology side. And then one day, like 2 years ago, just before COVID, my younger brother, whom we have, he's a very vibrant, guy, and we have a lot of conversations about business and especially about how we feel like a lot of indigenous, things have not been developed over the years. Our food, our language, in so many different ways. We have stayed in the past as far as our cultural representation is concerned. So one day I was there, he came to me and he was like, look, I see how people sometimes drive all the way to Ebri just to go and drink palm wine and come. When people travel to Kumasi and they're coming to Accra, they'll park by the roadside with all the flies around it and everything and just enjoy it. And they would go, and everybody has such a nostalgic connection to palm wine, one way or another. Can't we?
And people drink it at the weddings that you MC.
Absolutely, And he was like, can't we upgrade this? Can't we do it differently? Why can't we bottle it? And everybody we asked, everybody's like, it's impossible in the world of palm wine. You can't bottle it because it will naturally ferment. It might, give out gas. It might explode, all kinds of things. Well, long story short, myself, my younger brother, and a very good friend of ours, Chris, who's also a food process engineer, we came together, and it took us almost a year to literally adapt technology to be able to harvest fresh natural palm wine at source, stop the fermentation and package it, and that's what you have here. Literally
Crazy.
the world's very first authentic 100% natural palm wine. There's no water here, there's no sugar here, there's no preservative. It is approved and certified by Ghana Standards Authority, Food and Drugs Authority, and we are literally excited to present this.
It's amazing. So, we encountered this at back to
That's right.
And
look, even before you go, I have to say, the back to the village bazaar was an absolute blessing.
And that was the first time you were out.
That was our very first public event. We had been, pushing it out under G to, restaurants, etc., in our own way. But that was the first time we were interfacing directly with people, and it was such a fantastic fit. It was such a great turnout, and it was really great to be there, see people enjoy it, and give us feedback and connect to it as well. So, big ups.
Because I saw you that way. I was like, wait a minute, what is Kabutey doing?
I know,
right? So you have to try my palm wine.
That's
I'm like,
right.
Palm wine? You and palm wine? But it's brilliant, and I do hope that you're going to be at This Is Ghana Fair and Exhibition.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yes, you have to, because this is the kind of thing that we want to promote, that we want to push beyond the borders of Ghana.
Absolutely. And I think that in terms of that agenda, like, we all cannot drop the ball about being absolutely passionate and intentional about it. Like, I ask myself, how come till date there's no indigenous food when you fly an airline from Ghana to anywhere in the world? Like, by this time, some Kilewele, some Aboboy, some, but then in the present form, it's difficult to do certain things with it. So it's up to us as a people to refine it, upgrade it, and introduce it to the world.
Exactly.
Today, all of us are eating noodles. There's Chinese restaurants everywhere. We're eating pizza. You know, here in Ghana, people now know pizza more than they know Banku.
Exactly.
You know, and it's just because somebody somewhere was very intentional about pushing and driving it. I think our delicacies, it comes to our music as well. Like, listen, the evidence is clear. Every time any of our creative people takes a route that is connected more to our roots, they tend to accelerate much faster.
That's very true.
They tend to look at everybody. It started from Atongo, then I Want to See You, My Father, you know, and then Wiala is taking and there's no hip life or artist who has gone further than any of those guys.
And they've
you know,
big stages.
Talk about Osibisa. It's exactly the same thing.
Look at Kabutey.
You know, beautiful. Exactly the same thing. Any footballer who celebrates with our indigenous dances tends to become much more popular. So the evidence is there for us. We have all we need to. We just have to find ways of. And we are just honored and privileged. We really see it as, you know, it's almost like a calling to be given the opportunity to be the ones to introduce this onto the market. And we're excited about how quite a number of restaurants, you know, like Buka, like Living Room, especially the local food restaurants are excited about this. And we're doing a few events here and there as well. So in our own little way, this is our
all
addition.
this that you are managing.
It's amazing.
How do you manage family?
Well,
I've seen you and your wife, and you're like two peas in a pod, inseparable. You know?
So God has been good to me. I'll be honest. God has been good to me. I'm quite out there and exposed and all of that. I'm blessed with a wife who's not, you know, doesn't care about all the, you know,
the frills,
visibility and being out there, you know. Oh my goodness. We just celebrated 8 years on the 9th of August.
Beautiful.
So just last week. That's
beautiful.
So yes, she's a very homey person. She doesn't like attention. She doesn't like all the frills. She's very family oriented, you know. And I think that has been like my perfect fit. I couldn't have asked for a better, you know, a better in that sense. And I say every time that the only reason that I'm able to consistently explore all the things that I do is because my back is covered, you know, and I'm blessed to have my wife really cover my back. I have peace of mind at home, you know, and I know that's something that may sound cliche, but it's something that in my experience, is quite rare for a lot of people.
Oh, a lot of people
places,
don't have that.
Especially, you know, young couples coming up and all of that. And for me, it's an absolute blessing. You know, between us, we have 3 amazing children. You know, I don't know how we got to 3. I don't know. I tried to, you know, streamline and Charlie.
Before you realize,
Charlie, the traps were too effective. So that's really I don't hold the crown as far as my home and how we balance it is concerned, because she really holds us down, and I do my bit, but I know there's no way I would survive. There's no way I'd survive with the kids, and I mean, like, women are awesome. Look, women are miracle workers, you know, and I'm not exaggerating. I really mean that. Like, sometimes I sit down and I look at the things, you know, multiple things happening at home, and I know, like, Charlie, this one,
it's not you.
It's not me, you know. You know, and it's just so. And yes, in fact, since the subject has come up, not to sour the conversation or the mood in any way, but to Nora, my wife is called Nora, and the entire family, unfortunately, just about 6 days ago, they lost their father. So yeah, my father-in-law just passed. So to the whole family, I want to extend once again my condolences to you, and we'll stand through this together and make it work.
Condolences.
Yeah.
But Kabutey, before we wrap this, I'm just curious, how does Nora see what you do? Because a lot of them, you know, I want to marry a doctor, I want to marry a lawyer, I want to marry a multi-billion-dollar tycoon. How does she view what you do?
So the beautiful thing is, she was there before all of this. All right, we had a very long dating life.
Okay.
We dated for 9 years.
Wow.
Yes, we dated for 9 years before we got married. So that was a long time. And so before all of this, I mean, the time we were getting together was when I was fighting blues at Tetekwashi Trotro bus stop, you know, trying to get into the Trotro to work or back from work. And so we, you know, she all of this came to meet her. So the good thing was that she was a part of the evolution, you know, when we started all of this. And so at the beginning, initially, you know, out of curiosity and wanting to know how it works, she'll come along with me for some of my events and things like that. I think she did about 4 or 5 times. Yeah. And she decided, okay, I understand.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm not interested. And I could understand because, number one, she'll barely know anybody at any of my events. And I am working. So I would not even be allowed, you know, available to be in her company. And then on top of that, even though she may be admiring what I'm doing and all of that, you know, everybody will also be about me. You see, and you know, my brother. You know. So then she knows she's safe. But at least so after a few, she was like, you know what? I understand. I know what happened. So we have in our home, we have our own little formula of how she's part of my events. Especially now, you know, with children and all of that, obviously she can't be. But we have our own formula. She chooses what I wear.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yes, she chooses what I wear for all my events. So when you know, if I'm preparing for an event, I'll let her know the kind of event, you know, where I'm going, the kind of people, blah, blah, blah. She knows my wardrobe, so she would then pick and choose and decide what I wear. Wow. It is my own armor of protection. So that when I get into the marketplace, and her distant cousins. You know what I mean by her distant cousins. And they come and like, oh, Kabutey, you're looking so nice. But I remember that she chose it. I better go back.
But that's smart.
I like
so that's our own little formula of how we've integrated things together.
And I'm happy that you're being honest about this. That was what you do. Because just women like men who make them laugh, who make them happy. And just by virtue of what you do, a woman is sitting at a wedding of all places, single, probably has had so many terrible relationships, and she's thinking, oh, this man, he's for me, he would be for me. Right? You know, how do you handle that attention?
Well, I mean, to be very, very honest, I think that anybody who's good in their field is attractive to everybody else, both male and female. You know, I mean, like you go into a place and you see a power woman, like I keep telling people that one of the most attractive things is to see a woman like really good at what she does, in control in her environment, you know, delivering some presentation or some talk, and all of a sudden you're like, you know, I could tame this one, you know, you know what I mean? So the good thing is because of our long history, you know, and because of all that we've been through, and because of the evolution that we've had along the journey together, you know, it kind of keeps you a little bit grounded, you know, a little bit grounded. I mean, I'm a very free spirit. I'm a very exploratory kind of person. So I could easily get into trouble, you know, and the environment in which I operate is also very conducive, you know. The vibe is in there, the music, you're looking great, you know,
drinks.
And the cocktails, you know. So Charlie, before you realize you're speaking some French you never learned. So the good thing is she really has a very clear idea of, you know, how it is and what it is. When I come back home, most of the time we would have conversations about it. Because one of the great advice I got, you know, whilst preparing into marriage, you know, from some father figures I had, was to really try and have conversations, you know. Even though I'm a very out there person, I'm also a very solitary person. You know, it will sound strange, but I'm a very solitary person. I like think in my own head, in my own mind. So I can be very disconnected from my environment, you know. And it helps in some way. For example, this week, because of the loss that we suffered at home, imagine, you know, the loss happened on Saturday morning, and Saturday afternoon, evening, I had an event. Sunday evening, I had an event. And you're supposed to go and, you know, lift everybody's spirit up, but your own spirit is a bit, you know, daunted. So I just have to deal with it. There's a cross to carry for everything. You know, the amazing thing, we all pray for success, but we never ever pause to, most often, I won't say never, most often, we don't pray for what capacity it takes to handle the success that we're praying for.
That's very true.
You know, and I honestly believe that sometimes the reason why some of our prayers have not yet been answered is because we have not yet become the people that can handle
the success that will come.
that particular success. Because trust me, I talk to anybody who's significant in any sphere of life and they'll tell you how lonely it is. They'll tell you how difficult it is. They'll tell you the level of sacrifices they've had to make. You know, nowadays, my kids, the moment they see me dressed up, Daddy, bye-bye. And sometimes it breaks my heart, honestly, like, to the point where they've seen it so much that they don't have to cry or anything. It's like, okay, he's going. You know, that kind of thing. But it is a price to pay, you know. So if you want to stay at home and be with your kids the whole day, well, that's fine. You can do that as well. But that one also has a price to pay.
Absolutely.
So whatever price, so these, you know, attention here and there, I see it as a price to pay. It does feel good. I won't lie about it. There's not a single guy who will say that if I went somewhere and Apioko was single and she was spying somewhere, you know, I'll tell you a funny story. I'll tell you a funny story. I hosted an event some time ago, maybe about 3 years ago, Alabadi. And the event was going on. And within the event, I'm not exaggerating, this is for real. Like, there was this particular lady. I remember exactly till today, I remember exactly what she was wearing. You know, she had this green patterned dress, spaghetti stripes, you know, very, bro, I'm telling you, at some point in the event, I felt like there was 10 of her in the same room. Because like everywhere, so sometimes then I'll move and go to the other end. I turn and still, Charlie. Now the event is over. Most guests have left. It's left only the inner caucus, you know, like the bride's very good friend. And Charlie, her squad is at their table. And I'm standing by the DJ and I'm having a conversation with myself. And I'm like, Kabutey, we have closed. What are you still doing? I'm like, I was like, oh, you know, I'm just waiting to build bond and collection. I tell myself, Kabutey, you're lying. You are lying. Just get up and go home. Just get up and go home. Well, before I realized, I'd requested a song from the DJ. Stepped out there, had a fantastic dance. But by the time the dance ended, the kind of applause that the few people left, you know, spontaneously gave out, I just knew, my brother, this is where David said, you gotta flee. You can't negotiate. You can't discuss. You got to flee. Bro.
Take off.
I left.
Fly
but I know how heavy my legs were when I was walking to the car park.
Kabutey, thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we drink this pound?
Absolutely.
Like, you know,
my absolute pleasure. You know, and I love it when it goes down that way because then people get to connect to. So,
any cheers, sir.
Any cheers.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To God and country.
God and
Somebody.
All right. So guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have more from Aseye, the gymnast, and then also from Pet God. All right? So don't go anywhere. We're enjoying.
We're enjoying.
Army. Kabutey, thank you.
Thank you, boss.